for early childhood education. She wanted to teach uh, nursery school, c- early kindergarten, first grade in those areas. Well, she started taking all the courses for that. And it must have been the end of her sophomore year or the beginning of her junior year. She called us and said one of the courses she was taking was an art course for elementary teachers, not necessarily to teach art, but just to teach. So, this one professor who was teaching this course, he said to her, "You have talent. Why are you going doing the major you are? Why aren't you majoring in art?" Well, she started thinking this over, you know. She thought, if he thinks I've got, well, she always liked doing all this sort of thing anyway. So, anyway, she thought it over. And so one day she called us and said, I'm thinking this over and I really want to change my major. I want to study art. So we said, fine. It's up to you. It's your life, whatever you want. She said, the only problem is I'll have to stay one extra semester before I can graduate for art. So we said, okay, we'll see you through it. That's why I went back to work, see, because I hadn't before that. So anyway, she said, she wanted to change it, and we said, fine. So that's what she did. She changed her major, and then instead of graduating that June, she would graduate the next, I guess it was in mid, yeah, the miss, whatever that was. Anyway, so then Kevin said, well, I might as well stay here now too. I mean, we're married. Oh, no, they weren't married then. They weren't married then. He took some courses that summer too. I didn't pay for those, so computer science is what he majored in. So anyway, then they stayed there at Potsdam for that extra semester, and then that was when they moved to uh, Rochester. Rochester. His father worked for Kodak, and he always worked summers at Kodak while he was going to school. So he more or less had an in at Kodak, and he wanted to go back to Kodak then to get his job there, which is what he did. That's how came they got to Rochester. We met him up there in Rochester because they were going to the same school, you see. And so we did meet him up there. They met in college. They both went to Potsdam, and they met in college, and that's where they started going together while they were in college. And uh, they must have gone, all through college. And when they got finished their junior year, they said they wanted to get married then between the junior and senior years of college. So we thought, well, if that's what they want to do, we'd rather have them get married than just live together. That's the way Harold and I felt anyway. So anyway, that's when they got married that August. Of course, they couldn't live in a dormitory then. They were both in dormitories. So they they found they could rent. Uh, I was going to say it, not a trailer, a mobile home. No, not mobile. What do you call the things where it's a trailer, uh, but it didn't go. I mean, it just stayed there, and it was not too far from the college. So they lived there for a number of months. And I think that at that point, Wendy's claustrophobia got hold of her, and she felt she needed, because it was like one room after another. And so then they started looking for an apartment instead, and they did find an apartment, and then so they moved out of there what you call it, whatever you call the thing. She wasn't pregnant then, but she had done something that she hurt her leg. And when they came down here for Wendy's wedding, she came down on crutches, and she was gonna be, in the wedding, and how's she gonna go down the aisle on crutches? But it got they were here a few days before, and so it got her leg was better that she was able to put weight on it. I don't remember exactly what she did to her leg, but when they came down, and here she comes walking in on crutches, and here was it. She wants to go down the aisle because she was maid of honor for Wendy, and Wendy was maid of honor for her. When Wendy was getting married, it was in August, and Judy Ann was going to be matron of honor for her. And when Judy Ann and Dave came here, Judy Ann comes walking on crutches, and we said, "What happened?" Well, she hurt her leg. I forget what she did to it, but she hurt her leg, and so she was on crutches. So we said, "You're gonna go down the aisle and be matron of honor for your sister on crutches?" She said, "I'm hoping I'm gonna be all right, that I can walk then." So you see, things always happen that are different. She didn't need the crutches. The wedding was here in Sayville. Oh, definitely, in our church, and, it was here in our church, and, it was a nice big wedding, and we had the reception at the same place where Judy and Dave had theirs, which is very nice, place. Today, it's only a catering place, but it used to be a very nice restaurant as well as doing catering. So, so they each had 2 other bridesmaids, and, so it was the wedding party was 2 they both I don't know whether Wendy saw what Judy Ann did and liked it, I don't know. No, little sister, big copying big sister, I don't know, but anyway, that's what she did. So they each had their sisters as, attendants, and then 2 friends they each had. Oh, I know Wendy's got a lot of other fellows here in Sayville. She was like her mother. No, just that one summer. That was just Yeah, that was one summer. Uh, Another summer, well, I can't remember now what she did at the beginning of the year, but Harold and I were gonna go on vacation, and, she said, "I'll go on vacation with you." So she did, and we went off, and we were up in Canada, and, yeah, I think we did a lot in Canada that year. And, so she was with us, but we laughed after. She said she, like, reverted to a little child again. She was our little girl last couple of weeks, and Harold and I always joke about it, but she was her last fling with her parents, really. Well, she was married by then. Yeah, she was she wasn't around. Yeah. Wendy's that would have been just before Wendy got married. That would have been that she went with us. I don't know whether she was still working over at the Fire Island. I'm trying to remember, but I know whatever she was doing, she said she took the 2 weeks off to go away with us before she got married. See, uh, what she did, she had gone. She had her degree in art, and I believe she had her master's in art. Yes, she did. She had her master's in art, but she didn't have a teaching certificate then. What she did, she went to Brockport for, I don't know, was it 6 months or a year, and she got certified in elementary education and art education to teach art. So she could have taught either of those. But what she really wanted then, after she got to know what was going on, and she wanted to teach the art, so then she applied that and got art. Cert, well, she was certified both in teaching elementary education and art all the way through from kindergarten to through high school. She could have taught, but what she wanted was the elementary. You know, she had this double certification there for a while. No, when she knew she wanted to teach permanently, I don't think she had heck of a time getting it. No, as a matter of fact, she taught in several schools in the district. There were a number of elementary schools in that district, and she would be like morning in one school and maybe the afternoon in another. So she saw an awful lot of kids that way. She taught a lot of kids art, and but she loved teaching art because I know the things that she taught. Art teachers in the schools where I taught, they never went into the things that she did. I mean, she really taught art. She never taught things like, if it was Christmas time, she'd do Christmas projects. No, she stuck to a real curriculum. She really taught art. She said the teachers in the homeroom teachers, the regular teachers, they could do all those projects, which they do. Because I know I was that that was me, you see. I never was anything in art or music. Skipped me skipped me completely. But I could do anything that I could do in the classroom, I could do, but I never tried to do anything that I knew I couldn't do. I was thinking no, we never forced that on the girls at all. I mean, whatever they wanted to do was fine with us, and they saw so much, and they saw, the waking workings of a school. And they saw the different areas in the school where Harold, when he taught, it was high school, and I always had the lower elementary grades. Teachers don't leave school at 3 o'clock and be finished.